Fancy a highly paid job with a lifetime income, a say in running the country, and absolutely no comeback if it all goes tits up? Join the Tory party. Rishi Sunak finally grew some balls this week and sacked Suella, but not before she incited a riot and hijacked Remembrance Day for her own political gain, of course. She's been replaced by James Cleverly, who called the Rwanda plan he's inherited batshit, although he's now defending it, of course. But the surprise of the reshuffle was the return of David Cameron, who not long ago was part of what Rishi recently called a stagnant government. Rishi, who's apparently the candidate for change after being part of the 13-year-old government, even a chancellor, brought back a has-been failure from the 2010 Tory government and made him Foreign Secretary. Says a lot about his confidence in the team around him. So a bit about our dodgy Dave. Well, he's just a normal man of the people. Here he is in his Eton days, pictured with Boris Johnson when he was part of the Bullingdon Club, who famously went around trashing restaurants and burning money in front of homeless people. He also took part in an initiation ceremony while he was at the men-only Piers Gaveston Society at Oxford University that involved putting his cock in a dead pig's mouth. Oh, we've all been there, I'm sure. But it's the ABC of Cameron I wanted to talk about. A. Austerity. He was the driver for austerity that meant cutbacks in public services that have been responsible for around 300,000 deaths. B. Brexit. In order to win an election, he called a referendum that will keep the country divided for years to come, has cost us billions, and has made Britain an outsider and a laughingstock around the world. C. No, not that. Corruption. He's still under investigation over the Greensill scandal where he lobbied for a company who paid him £1 million a year for 25 days' work, managed to get him around 50 billion of government money, and cashed in his shares worth 7 million just before they went bust, owing the Treasury millions in tax. Now, because he's not an MP, he's been made a Lord so he can take up his new post. Not only will he now be a Lord for the rest of his life, but because of our antiquated system, he can't come to the House of Commons to answer for anything. So an unelected Prime Minister has appointed an unelected Foreign Secretary to a post in an unelected part of government with no parliamentary scrutiny. And we call ourselves a fucking democracy. Cameron has never got a job from his own endeavours in his life. His first ever job was a result of a phone call from his mother-in-law to a friend, and it's been a series of who-you-know appointments from then on until he became an MP and eventually Prime Minister, the sort of career the Tories love. And like most of the elite entitled Tory cabinet, he knows his family and contacts will always see him right, no matter how badly he fucks up, and that money will never be a problem. Which explains why there's now a possibility of the little bit of spare cash in the economy, they're planning to cut inheritance tax for the 4% of mega wealthy people, while proposing massive benefit cuts to the most vulnerable. They reckon these cuts will save the economy around £4 billion, which is a piss in the ocean compared to the £58 billion lost to PPE fraud. But who do you go after? The easy targets or your crooked friends? Tough choice. If you don't like your government run by a bunch of crooks and liars who only get into power because of the school they went to or who they know, but you'd like to know about it, why not subscribe? It really helps small channels like this. And don't forget to turn on notifications.